He applied a 25% tariff to both Canada and Mexico, and then both countries applied. Now he said, wait a minute, let's have some pause on that. So these are things like that. However, there are a couple of things is very clear that he's not going to spend so much money on NATO. And he will try to make Russia and Ukraine war to end as soon as possible. So those are the political side of it. And economic side of it is he will try to bring lots of industries and jobs back to the United States. Right now what's happening is the rich guys are, the Americans are what's called that, investing abroad, and they are making money, but then they are not having, industries are slowly going down in the United States and the jobs are going down, or rather they are not going up as they expected. So that trend he will try to reverse so that there will be more jobs and more production within the United States. That's the one thing.
Dr. Tilak Shrestha, sir, welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to all.
So how do you see the US President Donald Trump policy?
Well, it is too early to say anything right now because we still have to wait some more time to see what kind of policy he's going to really implement. But as far as he has said before, there are a couple of things that are important. Number one, he's saying that America is spending too much money outside, and because of all these so-called liberal policies, Americans are losing jobs and Americans are not getting enough one, and other countries like coming pretty high up and where America is losing. And so his idea of America being number one and we have to be number one again means we're not going to spend too much money outside and we're going to look at our interest. So when you compare with President Clinton's policy of globalization and liberal economy, he said, no, that is not helping our system. And that's why he's saying that America number one. Now, it is easy to say than done because there are so many treaties and so many things are there. So even though he like to have it and he'll also do some work on that, but in long term, it will be a little difficult to do that. For example, he applied a 25% tariff to both Canada and Mexico, and then both countries applied. Now he said, wait a minute, let's have some pause on that. So these are things like that. However, there are a couple of things is very clear that he's not going to spend so much money on NATO. And he will try to make Russia and Ukraine war to end as soon as possible. So those are the political side of it. And economic side of it is he will try to bring lots of industries and jobs back to the United States. Right now what's happening is the rich guys are, the Americans are what's called that, investing abroad, and they are making money, but then they are not having, industries are slowly going down in the United States and the jobs are going down, or rather they are not going up as they expected. So that trend he will try to reverse so that there will be more jobs and more production within the United States. That's the one thing. And outside, I will think he will not going to tolerate Islamic terrorism. The extremism within Islam is very dangerous for all over the world. So he's not going to tolerate that. And so, for example, he has already said that if you take the case of Israel and Palestine issue, that the people living in Gaza, they're not going to return there. They'll go to Egypt or Jordan, and those kinds of things are there. Now, how far it can be implemented is still to be seen, but that will tell you the background or the way of thinking behind that. And so if you come to Nepal, most probably he will keep the MCC. Right now he has not cancelled his aid. He simply put for a hold, like for a pause to check that. Number one, we have to we welcome USAID. That's good, because earlier it started like in 1950s that the US is going to help Nepal in terms of like education, for the health, and administration and those kinds. That's really good. We really appreciate that. And that's all about American help to third world countries like Nepal. But MCC is a little different kind. It has got something to do with Indo-Pacific strategic thought like this, and that will drag Nepal into some kind of, the political alignment. We don't want that. We are having so-called the non-aligned foreign policy, and that's good for us. And so we have to stick to non-aligned foreign policy, not the aligned with something else. And so, most probably the USAID, which is already small part, it may slightly go down, it may remain the same. Either way is not a problem. Because in 1950s and 60s, Nepal was different. We didn't have any doctors and engineers, but nowadays we have so many doctors and engineers unemployed. And also, it is good not to take, what's called that? What's called that? Donation. Nobody grows up by asking donation. No. You have to work hard, right? And if you work hard, you grow your heritage, you will be pride inside and the working habits and so on and so forth. And nobody becomes great guy by begging. The guys have never been up there. So the USAID is good. US does help Nepal a lot, but it is a time to slowly move out from donations and begging part of it and work ourselves. So what we have to ask, not only United States of America, but other countries also. The age of donations is over. We really don't want it. But what we want is investment and job creation and those kind of stuff we have to ask. So we are talking about partnership. We are talking about equal ranking. We are talking about you invest, you make profit, you take the profit with you, and please give us job, and please pay us some tax, like fair tax, so that it will grow, but not the donation.
So it is believed that Nepal is a base, or it's a battlefield, or it's just like some kind of front for the power centers. Do you think so?
It is. What happened was earlier Nepal was some small country somewhere hiding under the Himalayan belt kind of stuff. But right now what's happening is both India and especially China and India is growing really fast. Chinese economy, not the per capita, but GNP is equal to America now. And the Indians are still down there. But after about 20-25 years, in general, I don't have the precise number, but the Chinese, not per capita yet, but GNP going to be almost twice of US, and Indian going to be equal to American. And so the economic center is going to move to Asia. And because of that, what they are seeing is they like to have a Western outpost in Nepal. And for that, one of the things what they are doing is to Christianize Nepal as much as possible. That is, this is direct attack on our dharma, our culture, and our Sanskriti. That we have to understand. I'm not saying we have to fight, no. I'm saying why they are doing it and what Christianity is all about. That's what we have to. So the bottom line of Christianity is very simple. A Christian, all the Christians will go to heaven, no matter how evil. All others, like us, go to hell, no matter how virtuous. Absolutely, this is the most nonsensical doctrine, but they really believe that, and this is what they are doing. So if somebody becomes a Christian in Nepal, then he will take the Buddha's statue, Shiva, Lakshmi, Saraswati, all that, throw it outside and kick it, and saying that, oh, you devil, get out from here. So that's what they do. And that is direct assault on our dharma and wants, and to think about this, so that we have to be careful. And so we don't want to have Nepal being used against China. And so that's basically bottom line that. So now, when the West is going to have an outpost in Nepal, it has two meaning of it. First, it is strategically against the China. But then it is also strategically against India also. Because for them, the rise of India is also kind of like dangerous. So that we have to thoroughly understand and make sure that we are not the one. And then the struggle may not be direct military intervention. But however, when we talk about Nepal, we are proud of our heritage, and the wiping off our heritage is worse than the war. Because in war, maybe say a couple of million people dead, but we are still Nepalese. So, but when you wipe out your heritage, then you are not Nepali. You may look like Nepali, but you are not Nepali.
So how can we manage the balance among these superpowers?
Very simple. We have to go back to King Mahendra's time. When in the 1960s, when King Mahendra was here, at that time, Cold War was even worse than today. But he went to United States, he went to Russia, he went to China, he went to India, he went to England, all over places, France, and then got help from all of them and kept Nepal outside Cold War, right? So why can't we do that today? Very simple. First, we have to stick to our age-old non-aligned foreign policy, number one. Nepal too, we have to insist that Nepal is zone of peace, as the King Birendra announced. Whether India likes it or not doesn't matter. We have to keep on stating that Nepal is zone of peace, and we will not have any country or power use Nepal against any other. Third, we have to talk about Panchashil. We have to stick to the 5 principles of the Panchashil as an international relationship. Thank you.
So, Trump administration is against the BRICS nation. So, why they are against the BRICS nation?
No, he's not saying against the BRICS nation. He's not saying that. He is saying that the China, India, both are using American market more, and they are not buying the American goods enough. So they are not talking about the BRICS as a group in one, but against particularly China, then India, then Brazil kind of stuff, that they are not buying American goods, but they are using American market to grow their economy, right? So at this moment, we have to see it purely as a economic relationship and the trades and the trade deficiency kind of stuff, more of from that angle, but not as one. But however, BRICS is designed to be a second power center, right? That also there. But however, that part at this moment is small, so that right now it will be better for us to see purely as a matter of economic relationship than a political relationship. That's one thing. However, for a small country like Nepal, that issue is not that relevant. I mean, we are not the member of BRICS, and so our trade is also so minuscule. Not really small, it's minuscule, and so it does not really make big differences. For India, it will make difference, but not for us.
So, what do you think the main intention of Trump administration at this time, all over the world?
No,
to maintain the world peace, he just declared. Do you believe him?
I do believe him. I mean, I may not agree what he said, but I do believe what he said. That's what he's going to do. For him, right now, the 2 current issues, number one, hopefully, that'll be great if he's able to bring some kind of peace between Russia and Ukraine and stop the war. But that's the one thing. But in the second time, in terms of Middle East, he's very clear. He's not going to tolerate Islamic terrorism. And so, if the Arab world wants to grow in peace with other world, so you have to be, nice and peace to all. But you cannot talk about peace on one side and then talk about support Islamic terrorism. No, that is not going to happen. And that he's going to stop it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Namaskar.